September 21st is World Alzheimer's Day, and a day to raise awareness about a disease that impacts memory and thinking skills. It's estimated more than 6 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, dementia. Dr. Mernova Saeed is an Associate Director of Psychiatry, treats Alzheimer's patients at the Montefiore Center for the Aging Brain. Good morning, doctor. Thank you for being with us.
Morning, thank you.
Doctor, can you explain the differences between memory loss, dementia, and Alzheimer's disease?
Sure. So dementia is really an umbrella term to describe significant changes in memory and thinking usually over several years. And so if you think of it like a pair of trousers or a pair of pants, there are different kinds of things that cause dementia. Alzheimer's disease is one particular kind of disease that causes about 60 to 80% of dementia. But there are other causes like vascular dementia that can be caused by people who have strokes or lots of small strokes over time, as well as something called frontotemporal dementia, Lewy body, Parkinson's, traumatic brain injury, or some of the other things that can cause it as well. So it is quite diverse. So in general, we just want to think about dementia as an umbrella term.
How is it different from, we're just getting older and becoming forgetful, which a lot of people can relate to?
So it is normal with aging to have some slowing down of processing, maybe tip of the tongue phenomenon. You're thinking of something, it comes back to you later. But really the signs where we're concerned about more significant changes in memory are really impacting your daily functioning. For example, if you're forgetting to pay your mortgage, if you're not able to manage that anymore, you're getting lost while driving. These are things that are significant. Leaving the stove on, these are things that are major, as opposed to kind of maybe, oh, I forgot I put something down, or I forgot what I was getting in the kitchen, and then you come back later.
How common is this diagnosis, and what are the warning signs?
So about, as you said, about 6 million Americans, 55 million people worldwide are dealing with dementia. So it's not uncommon. In older adults, over 85, you can see that in as much as a quarter to a third of older adults do have dementia. The important thing I want you to take away from that is the majority of older adults do not have dementia, so it's not a part of normal aging. And so it's really important that families and people experiencing this know that they should be getting evaluated if they're noticing some changes in their functioning and ability to organize themselves.
What are some of the latest treatments?
So we have existing treatments. So there are existing what we call cognitive enhancers that people are given particularly early in the stages when things are very mild. And those have been shown to have some slowing of the progression of dementia. In addition, there's a lot of research on new treatments. Obviously, there was the treatment aducanumab that came out very recently. That's an injectable that's still being investigated as well. Also, there are other things, transcranial stimulation modalities that are very promising that are occurring. And then lifestyle changes. There's actually, there was a study that came out almost 40% of dementias might be able to be prevented through lifestyle changes, addressing things like hearing impairment, sensory deprivation from not having the right glasses, not treating depression or apathy if that's happening, addressing vascular risk factors. So there are a lot of things actually that physicians can do right away to prevent or slow down the progression of dementia.
Are there preventative steps that people can take to avoid?
Absolutely. So one of the biggest things, I would say kind of the pillars of overall brain health are exercise. And that doesn't mean you have to go to a gym, but really moving regularly every day throughout the day. So that could be taking a walk, running after your grandkids, if that makes you happy, but really moving and doing things that are more cognitively stimulating. So Tai Chi, dance, where you have to learn something, learning a new instrument, new language, those are all great. Looking at your nutrition, making sure that one of the things we know is the Mediterranean diet and the MIND diet, which is the Mediterranean diet plus a low sodium whole grains diet, has been shown to decrease the onset of dementia. So looking at what your diet is makes a huge difference. Getting enough sleep and then being social. Being really active and social are like the pillars of your overall well-being.
This disease truly impacts the entire family. Can we talk about support and options for caregivers?
Yeah, it's we have probably over $200 billion being in unpaid caregiving. So the majority of caregivers are informal caregivers, family members, spouses, and kids. And so one of the things we recommend as dementia specialists right away is that caregivers get support. There are lots of support groups that are available, be it in person and now in kind of the time of COVID, virtually as well. So if they can't leave the house, that's available to them. Particularly if you go through like alzheimersassociation.org, you can find some of those tools. In addition, there are programs that provide respite care. So if somebody has to travel or if they're overwhelmed, there are programs for that. And then a lot of specialists and social workers can really connect caregivers with long-term care programs where they can get some assistance from a formal caregiver in the home. So there really are a lot of resources for caregivers. It's just a matter of connecting them with the right people.
Such important information. Dr. Minerva Syed, Associate Director of Psychiatry at the Montefiore Center for the Aging Brain. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.